Hi, my name is Ken Colby. I'm the author of Green Screen Wizard. Green Screen Wizard sells 3 versions of its software. It sells a full version for only $99, meant to work for anybody that just wants to get started in green screening. We sell a professional version called the Green Screen Wizard Pro Studio Editor that contains the amazing airbrush editor and a lot of other features. We sell that for $200. And then, for $50 more, you can add batch and event features. And they are as follows. We have batch itself, which will allow you to print a lot of images out of a single, process a lot of images from a folder. We have batch print, which will allow you to print a bunch of images from a folder. And we have event mode, which will allow you to quickly process images. And then finally we have email, which will allow you to email your images. So those are the 4 main components of the batch event upgrade. So let's take a look at an overview of how they work. And by the way, I've already recorded a video on how to use the batch process, so we won't be dealing with that today. But anyways, a camera is connected to the computer via a USB port. And what happens is you buy some or get some third-party software, and every time you click the shutter, it'll put an image in a folder. In order to figure out what software you'd like, just go to our home page, scroll down, and we have an article about doing event photography. In that article there's a bunch of links that'll show you where to get software for your particular camera. So now we have images in a folder. Well, we can run a batch process and process them all at once and put the output in a combined image folder. Or we can start the batch process and ask it to watch the folder. Then it'll process all the ones that are currently in the folder, but then it'll wait, and every time we click the shutter, a new image will show up in this folder and the Green Screen Wizard will automatically process it. So that's kind of the 2 ways of doing batch. Likewise, we have batch print process. We can wait till the folder is full and print all the images, or we can wait or we can watch the folder, and every time a new image comes in the folder we can print it. The effect of this is very cool because basically you've created an Instamatic camera. Every time you click the shutter, an image will go in the folder, it'll be processed by Green Screen Wizard and get a nice background, it'll be put into the output, and it'll be detected there's a new image in the output and it'll be printed. So click, chugga chugga chugga, print. And that, it's all hands off. You can just sit there and print all day. Now that's just one of the configurations. But what if we wanted to do something with the images and not use the same background for each one, or maybe edit them or whatever? So the batch process is not very good for that. It's more designed for if you're taking a picture of 100 school kids. But if you're at an event, you may want the user may want to choose a different background. So let's take a look at that. What we need for that is something we call event mode. And event mode works just like the batch process, except it allows you to go next, 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 and step through the images in the folder. So this gives you a lot of flexibility because now you can change the background, or you can change an image settings, you can move the image around, you can crop it, you can do whatever you need to do. And then you have 3 choices. You can save it, you can print it, or you can stick it in the batch print folder and automatically print it. But either way, it's a much more efficient mechanism for doing green screening. Alright, with that as an introduction, let's take a look at the product. So here's beautiful Green Screen Wizard, and we access the event mode through the adjust image. Here's event mode. And it looks like a lot of things to set. Basically you just set most of them once and move on. But you see there's an email set up here where we can send email, and there's also a save to batch print folder. So before we get started in this, let's take a look at those two features first. So they're in the Tools tab, and let's start with email. So let's say I wanted to email this photo. Well, I would need an email address, and obviously this isn't a correct one. Put in a title and some body or information. Now before I can click send email, I have to set up an SMTP server. Now that sounds scary, but it's not that bad. The easiest way is to get yourself a Gmail account. It's free. And then you just type in all this information exactly as it's shown. You type in the server host, your Gmail account name at Gmail, and your password. And that's it. You're good to go. You can also use your ISP's mail server, but in order to do that, you need to get information from your ISP about these settings. Okay, so now we're set up, and we can just send mail if we want. Now, in event mode, what it'll do, it'll use all these settings, except it'll allow us to change the email address. And this is really nice because now we can plunk along, and if we want to send an email, we just enter an email address and send. We don't have to save or do anything else. Now a lot of people say, well, is there really a value in that? Well, I think there's tremendous value because people love to have an image. If you hand them a print, they think that's great for the moment, but if you think about it, it's much better to email them an image. They can print it themselves. They can send it to a photo print facility. They can email it to their friends. They can put it up on Facebook. They can use it on their website. There's all kinds of stuff they can do with that image if you send it to them. So there's just a lot more life in the image if you bother to do the emailing. Okay. So let's talk about batch print. Batch print's mission is very simple. Take the images that are in a folder and print them. So we need a couple of pieces of information to get going. We need to set up the printer. In this case, my Oki data. We need to select a printer template, and it can be simple like this, or it can be complicated, like a 4-up. Okay. And then we can start the print process. So we start it, and it immediately stops. What's with that? Well, the problem is there's no files to be printed yet. So again, like in the batch, I can do what's called a watch folder. What this says is start the batch print process and watch for images in this batch output folder. Now we're all set up. Any time we put an image in the batch output, this process will print it. So now we have our batch print set up and we have our email set up. Now let's take a look at the Tools tab, or the Image tabs, and Event Mode. So in Event Mode, because we can do a quick print, we need to set up a printer, and we do that. We'll use the same template, and we haven't actually processed any images yet, so let's take the first image by doing Next. And there you go, Next. And as soon as these things light up, you can save them. You could do a quick print or a quick save. Either way. Boom, done. Now that saved it to the print folder, and so now it's going to print that. In fact, maybe you can hear my disgusting printer. Oh, we're out of paper. Well, that proves it worked. Oh, jeez. Okay. We won't print anymore. Anyways, this will give up in a second. I'm sorry for that. Anyways, there's other things you can do. You can move the image before you print it, obviously. You can scale the image by sliding up and sliding down. You can add text. I did this for people that wanted to put the boys' names on baseball cards. And you can obviously move the text. And you can set up the default text. Okay. So what if we wanted to change the background for our bride? Well, we could do a quick pick. It'll go through, I suggest you set up probably like 4, and then this will go pretty quick. You just happen to have a nice bride background. We select that. Okay, we're done. Now all of the people will get the bride's background. So I can go previous and look at other ones, or I can go next, next. Now typically you're not going to have totally different people. You would probably pick a background or 2 that you would go with. But I'm just trying to do a demonstration here. Alright, so Leo's not looking too good here. Another thing we can do is we can load a GSW file. Now that's a pre-canned file. You basically save an image to the whatever settings you have, you save in this GSW folder, and then you can just pick those settings. So here's one with a sandwich overlay. Maybe a little too, I mean it's okay, but let's try the rock. That's more Leo-like. Okay, and now it's ready to, we can send an email, so let's send it to Leo. And we could send the mail. So again, we have three choices. We could send the mail, we can do a quick print, which will print out, which I won't do again since you saw all the horrible things that happened to my printer. You can save to the batch print folder, which is a combination of save and it's print, or you can just save it. So that's the basic capabilities of the event mode. It's very fast. You don't have to load a background or you know, save to a file or pick a printer. Everything just goes quickly. Now the advantage of all this is now you can participate in various events, like let's say you have a wedding reception. You set up your little green screen, you have people come by your green screen, you pick a nice background, and it's basically next, next, next. Or you can give them a choice. At the Boy Scout Jamboree, we let them be on the Boy's Life, or they could be on mountain climbing or whatever they want it. And you can get people through in like 30 seconds or less. The other thing that's nice about this product is it's great for advertising. So say for example you're a hotel and you want people to remember the fun time they had at your hotel and tell their friends about it. You can take a picture of them at your hotel with any background you want. If you're at a trade show and you're selling a car, you can take a picture of a person on a green screen and pose them against the coolest cars or the car they like. You can also set up multiple copies of Green Screen Wizard and process them as well. Okay, well that's pretty much it for Event Mode. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Again, it's a $50 upgrade, and you just go to our website and go to where it says Frequently Asked Questions /support, and on the bottom there's an upgrade tab. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy our products.